Let me see. Good to hear. Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm. I've got a job for you if you're looking to keep busy. Here are the details.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk Star City with members of the community. See, I just want to stop and restart that all over again. Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk, where we talk Star City with members of the community. Got it out that time. Today is November 3rd, 2022. How's everybody doing in chat? I see Soul Citizen, Griffin, hey. Hope people are joining, are slowly trickling in. Hey, Face to Face, how are you doing? Yes, today is Thursday, November 3rd, and yes, we have another ISC that came out today, so we'll be covering that. We'll be covering SCL from last week, and a whole bunch of stuff that happened in the middle. Just going on with me this week, more reading, mostly reading, and some gaming. A new game came out today on mobile today that I'm trying to check out, but hopefully I'll be able to get to it after the show. It's called Nikkei, but it's on mobile. I'm still playing Memento Mori. I'm still enjoying that game, even though it may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I still do love the music. Oh yes, we had a show on Sunday, not a typical show, but it was a fundraising show. And Griffin wanted me to bring that up. I'll say more about it in a bit. But yeah, hopefully everyone had seen it or will check it out on YouTube or Twitch, on their VOD later. I guess that's about it. Yeah, I still haven't gotten into my anime. But hopefully I'll be able to do that soon. I didn't have any, speaking of the show on Sunday, I didn't have any lines on it. But, during the day the Earth stood still, reenactment. So I want to consider this my audition for the next one that we do, if there's a next one. So I'm gonna try to get ready, okay? Speak to me in English. I'm fastcart. Do you speak any English? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Let's see if anyone gets with that reference. Oh, no one is in the green room this time. Y'all punking me. No one's in the green. Oh, there goes someone. Hey. There go people. Okay. I'm dragging people in. One more.
Wanted you to do extra work, that's why.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Today we're joined by Admiral Kusanagi, Dark Knight, Fitspace, and Poppy Face. How's everybody doing?
All right.
All good.
Oh, I gotta work on that, DK. You said I gotta work on that?
Work on your anime watched, and you got a lot of stuff.
Okay.
I didn't win the Powerball yesterday. I'm quite disappointed.
Damn, you were gonna buy us all javelins, weren't you?
Did you guys see that though? Like the first three numbers were 2, 11, 22.
Mm.
And yesterday's date was 2/11/22.
Oh, that means they lost a lot of money because that's what people generally bet on. Yeah, like Virginia, when they first had their lotto, the day after, it was the day after they started, the numbers came up to be the previous date, and they lost a lot of money at the very beginning of the program. So yeah, they lose a lot of money when it's dates like that.
Hey, Fastcart, before we get started, just wanted to thank you, and again, Fist to Face and Pops, you guys were integral in making last Sunday a success.
You guys did such a great
and
job.
you guys were fantastic. And
Yeah.
again, I just want to thank everybody that's in chat right now and everybody that helped support. Like, Griff was like just the number one dog out there. So he was, thanks to everybody.
Griff needs a hand on that one more.
And Griff is great. I'd be like
pull,
like twisting arms and stuff like that. He's good at that too. He's like, Kusanagi, I know you in 2 days you got to do this thing.
You did very well.
Hey, that's how you get it done, right? You got. That's
I haven't
be up like 10 minutes before the rehearsal.
I actually haven't listened to it yet. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know how I did. So I'm like, I'm not going to listen to that.
You did great. Don't worry about it.
You did a really good job, Kusanagi.
Everybody did an excellent job. Meg,
everybody did fantastic.
Kelrati,
I don't know about that fast card guy. He was kind of flaky. He was kind of late on some of those.
Was good.
That's Carl, right?
or a community treasure. You want to call him treasure again?
I keep telling y'all can't. I mean, y'all got to be really like selective with your compliments towards him.
Isn't he like a master
seriously
comedian?
Y'all are going to turn him into a serious like. The other day we had to slay him. Like we had to slay him. Like he was mortally wounded. So right now y'all are building him back up. Please.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right. So up first we have the sneak peek. I'm gonna bring that up real quick. So the sneak peek for this week is this picture, and it's the subtitle was "Rest for my soul." So I'm guessing that's a station.
Space station.
Station.
Ruin station.
There's one thing about this I don't know what I'm looking at. If you look to the far right, they have those boxes that are like by themselves, and I can't figure out what they are.
Blow it up fast card. Zoom in on it.
Not on here, but I can do it in this one. Hold on. You said it far right?
Yeah, see those little things in front of the rock? They look like little cargo container.
Oh, these things?
Yeah, but like one of them actually looks like it has a hanger in it. So it's just kind of weird if you zoom in.
Oh,
this may just be concept art.
I'm just saying.
Art, Fastcart. No, that's not concept art.
Yeah, that's in game.
Mm-hmm.
It could be
I don't know what those are.
Get that control plus sign.
Something, or they could be habitation units.
Wow.
Hey, I'm
rough.
Theory crafting out there.
Ooh, DK. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it can't be, but gee.
Where are you gonna put those belters? You got to keep them someplace.
Oh man, maybe.
Yeah. So
I'll take a zoomed up shot and I'll post it here so everybody can see it. But I'm just not sure what the hell I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's right, Kai. Enhance.
Yeah, make it so that we can see stuff that's not really in the picture. There you go. Old reference there.
Print screen.
Yeah.
We'll print the screen. Go from there.
Oh, I forgot to say, if anyone wants to come and join us, make sure you click the link that I'm put in for the Discord. Come and join us to talk with us if you want to. So yeah, click on that if you want to come in. So yeah, I think this is a great looking station though. It looks complex. I mean, it looks more complex than when we Port Ola saw, that's for sure.
How big is that station? Is it like twice or three times the
compared-
size
if
of
you
like
think
Everett
these-
Harbor or something?
If you think these boxes are like, what is it? Not 36 SCUs each. Like one of these boxes is 36 SCUs each. Then you blow it up to that. That's my guess. I'm not confirming or denying, or that's my guess. That each of the boxes is 36 units. That's a standard fate of fate box or whatever now.
There's a picture. They have a ruined station with a javelin.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think I
going
saw that
by.
picture. Yep.
Yeah, so
And
ruined
it's
station
tiny
is
compared to the station.
yes. Ruined station is okay. Yeah.
Think about the size of the javelin when it's parked at Port Tresler,
Right.
and it looks large enough.
Mm.
But then compare that with the image that Pops was talking about, and it looks like a Pisces.
There you go.
Yeah.
Where'd you put it? Oh, you put it in there.
It's in Twitch.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I zoomed in on. But I'll put it on the screen.
And this is much more zoomed.
He zoomed.
Who's zooming who? So yeah, that's the picture that Kutanagi sent.
Yeah, so there could be habs of some type, or I don't know. Like there's one end, the top one, it looks like it actually has maybe like a hanger in it. I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
Yeah. Who knows?
They have surprises for us, I'll say that.
We'll find out soon, TM.
Soon, I was gonna say, add that TM. No pause between that soon and the TM. No. Okay, let's pause. All right, so up next, I'm gonna get rid of the text that I have here. So up next we have SCL. So last week SCL was called Mission Commission. It featured these dev, and did anyone had a chance to look at it? Remember anything from it?
Not so part of it.
I will say that it was a very good SCL. I'm very happy with the changes they've made to SCL and ISC. I think they're wonderful. This was a really good impromptu, deep depth thought or talk and discussion about how these developers create their missions and what kind of missions they're thinking of creating and what goes through their minds and things like that. And they enjoy what they do. You can see that. That is definitely something that is welcome to see for the community, but also it's the detail that they put into it, similar to the one before that, it really kind of ties into more of the development talk as opposed to look at this. So I thought it was really well done, and I thought these guys were great.
Anyone else?
I really don't remember the beginning so much. I'm trying to go back look at the video right now. I think this is when they kind of redid the 600. Is this the same video?
No. This is the mission one. The 600.
Okay, so the mission for the prison, and then the end of this, they have a guy talk about the 600 or something like that.
I think the 600 was the week before that.
The 600 was the week before, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, let me go forward a bit.
That's fine.
Here they were talking about the platforms on Orison and having the mini missions, kind of like a mini siege, but that can be launched at any time. I think I don't know if it's going to be like a mission-oriented one where you can go in and to your Moby Glass and just claim a mission and then go to a platform, or you're assigned to a platform or something. But they said that you can land there and in your ship, so you can get there. I guess there won't be like a shuttle or anything like that, but I don't know. We'll see. But that's what the crux of what they were talking about at that moment.
Yeah, you just saw a 600 and the thing, but that was from a commercial.
That was a commercial.
Yeah, I figured that. I went back and looked at it. So. Subsidized housing, exactly, Papa Doc. Maybe it's subsidized housing.
So yeah, this SCO was all about missions and making missions and how to come about. They had some good tidbits about it a week ago. I forgot to jot it down. I remember it's a good watch. So if you want to get a summary of it, go watch Noob Fighters, and you had like a 4-minute long summary of it, so you won't miss out.
I mean, it's great for a single person, because everything right now is you need help to get off the planet. So to be able to find a way out of there on your own, and to find a vehicle and find a spaceship and get off there and probably sell the spaceship in the future. Or I don't know how the tracking for that's going to work, but it's pretty cool.
I thought that was a great idea to do something like that, because it does make gameplay for single players. But, like you said, there's not much for them, but this is a really good single player experience for the solos out there, which is just
Single
fine.
player, but this is an MMO. The M in MMO stands for massively.
There
know what you
are
mean.
people out there, it happens in every MMO. I think it's cool.
All right then, so that was last week's SCL. Up next we have the Jump Point. Yeah, so this week, as mentioned, subscribers, the October issue of Jump Point is now available to download to subscribers in the RSI account. This month they're celebrating 10 years of Star Citizen by talking to narrative director Dave Haddock, art director Paul Jones, and global environment lead Eddie Hilditch about their roles in creating the Verge as we know it today. They're also investigating the development of the origins of the Great Cat STV and profiling Jerry DeBanu, the fugitive responsible for humanity's first contact with alien life. If you want to become a subscriber, click that link for more details. So yeah, that is the Jump Point. Anyone check it out? Anyone read it?
Haven't read it yet. I usually read them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something brought to my attention. Griffin brought to my attention. The previous Jump Point had pictures of the Banu in it, so I had to get that one. I had to get that one. I didn't know about that one.
Sometimes you gotta also look in the images. If you guys are subscribers, just go in and see what images they put in. Sometimes they put in some white box, gray box images of ships that are in development, which is really cool.
Yep. So if you want to become a subscriber, if you want to check out the Jump Point, check out that link that I'm going put in Twitch chat. Up next we have, we're kind of blowing through these, but up next, let me get a bigger picture of this one. But this is some details about 341. Current 317.4 IE testing is being put on hold until early next week. We'll give further updates as we had them. 317.3 is out in a live environment. So yeah, anybody excited or disappointed, or how do people feel about this?
They had to put it on hold. They still gotta. They know they have to get it done for IAE, so they're gonna get it out one way or another, or they're in trouble.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a bit, but you have like 2 weeks. So do you think they'll have it out in time?
Well, they're talking about not even putting it back out to testing until early next week. So if you say, okay, well, that's, this is the 3rd, you're looking at the 7th or the 8th. Let's just say the 8th, and that gives them what, 7, 8, 9, 10 days to finish it. Once the testing gets put back into place, it's going to be tight.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know how much are they going to be adding to 0.4 from 0.3.
Just IAE, as far as I know.
So they're basically turning on the new Babbage,
or wherever it is this year,
because it's that new Babbage, and since it was already there, they already have the assets. So all they have to do is just place the new assets, run a test in PTU, probably a open PTU for everybody to go in and just make sure that the elevators work.
Or if they put something in like that 1 year they had the Idris inside the hangar. If they put something big like a merchantman in there, just the outside of it, maybe that's what they're talking about. Because they got all those polygons and whatever. Want to make sure everything works.
Since we have concerns here, just remind me, are we doing a free fly during this event?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that answers a lot.
That's the other reason why I want to make sure it works and everything properly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the message of the day. This came out today around 11 a.m. Eastern, or that's when I saw it, 11 a.m. Eastern today. So yeah, speaking of IE, here goes the commercial. I'm not gonna play the sound of it, but everyone has seen this thing. Yeah, that's it. Everyone's seen this commercial already, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing at the end that the big memorandum. I'll pause it when we get to it. So hold on a sec. There we go. So in memoriam, I can't even say the word memoriam. Jack McCleary. So yeah, this has been people up not in the uproar, but this is a a big deal. People love this character, and people are saying, "What's up with this? What's going on?" So what do you guys think is going on with this?
I think
I'm not gonna speculate, but
Yeah.
What happened to all the speculation you were doing last week?
I didn't speculate.
I'm messing with you.
I'll speculate. I'm just everybody else go. They can go first.
I don't think he's dead. That I don't think. I think it's just a build up, which is cool, and keeping the story alive, keeping people on their toes, and purposely for speculation. So
Yeah, just for reference, I'm going to play the last minute and a half of the last episode from the IE of last year, so people can know what happened. So this is not needed, and I'm gonna just go with this. So take a listen.
Dare to fly. I think I still need to do some serious soul searching, Jimmy. There it is. The Odyssey. This ship is something else, huh? I mean, supposedly it basically becomes your own personal space station. Imagine just taking this thing out as far as you can, dropping anchor and just living. I mean, that's it, Jimmy. The Whitleys just got their hands on an Odyssey prototype. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if I borrowed it, for a little sabbatical someplace. I don't know, like the Pyro system. Yeah, or someplace like that. I mean, someplace where no one will bother me. I need to get my head straight before next season. If I even make it back, that is. Okay, everything is looking good. This is it. I'll miss you too, Jimmy. But don't wait up for me, mate.
Jax will be back. That's what they said at the end. So if they don't bring him back, that's false advertising.
All right, who wants to go first?
All right, I'll speculate. Okay. I'll bite. So here's my theory. Okay, he's gonna come back. He's gonna be like he's gonna do like a Dave Chappelle, right? He's gonna come back. He's gonna become bigger, better than ever. He's gonna be at IAE and then get attacked on stage.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's
So yeah, I people are speculating maybe he won't be back this IE. I think he'll be back this IE, probably like the last day or something like that. Because they're gonna do these specials no, I mean I'm guessing they normally do these specials. They had 4 episodes last year. They had a few episodes every year. They had a few IAE episodes. So I'm guessing, they'll talk about the first couple of episodes, and then the last episode he'll appear, and that'll be like the end of this IAE. That's my guess.
My theory is kind of similar to that in that, and Griff said this, when we were talking about it earlier before, that how do we know who's told us that he was dead?
Right.
He went to Pyro by himself and stole the ship. He didn't borrow it. He stole it. And he went to Pyro by himself.
And real quick, that's what confused me, because I remember him saying borrow, but I did not remember that he was being sarcastic when he said borrow. So that's so I was thinking that he had permission to take it, but that's totally not the case. Go ahead.
Nope. And so he
wait a minute, but he's the I don't know what the problem is. He's white, and that's what happens. He just borrowed the ship.
Okay. All right, Adam.
Oh my goodness, Adam.
Moving on. What were you gonna say, DK?
But I'll just finish up here. But So my belief is he's not dead because who told them he was dead? They are in a missing in action type of scenario where or a POW because
and he's not even in action. He's just missing.
he's just missing, and like you said, he's going to go out and find a place to go and just live. Nobody is out there unless somebody captured him and then came back to Stanton and let people know that he was dead. But I don't know. I think he'll show up. Maybe not this IAE, but I would imagine he would. And like Fastcart said, maybe he'll just come in at the end, and they'll be having a funeral, and he'll walk in and be like, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
so we got Choo Choo in here now, and we got Kai. But before they go, I want to just give my 2 cents. I think there's 2 possibilities. Number one, he comes back and was like, "Oh, the ship's great, and I was able to do all this stuff. And by the way, now Miss says it's available or ready to fly, like in 15 days from now." Or he's still there exploring. They kind of give us like updates and like video feeds from him saying, "Hey, I'm not dead. I'm still here, having a great time by myself, but I'll do this stuff remotely." And he's just gonna kind of show us like Pyro a little bit. So I think that's either one of those. That's how I think it's gonna go.
Yeah. Well, if I can point out one thing, there's no date. When you die, you have a date from here to here.
Oh,
there's no date.
Oh, that's another thing too. I'm glad you said that. How come he didn't respawn?
Oh, wow, you are correct.
Oh boy, here we go.
No. I said that last week when
absolutely
did. Like he like, why didn't he regen if he's dead? Unless they took his clones and stuff offline.
That lets me know I ignore you too much. Okay.
I understand. So right now, I'm free framing it, and this look like people are saying this is the Pisces cutter or something like that. So what do people think?
That's the ambulance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
Pisces ambulance.
It's about time. The Pisces needed to have something like that. I thought that was a perfect little ambulance.
Yeah,
Perfect.
It makes sense. It does make sense. Okay. Yeah,
Especially like if you're doing exploration out your Carrick and you need to have a medical team on board that's able to go down to planet, you've got your you got your Pisces ambulance right there.
Right there.
Is anyone getting one?
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Hey, Choo, hey Kai, do you have anything to add about Jasper Cleary or IAE?
No.
Yeah, I'll go.
Question. Oh, okay.
I'll go a little out of the box. Jared let slip on purpose earlier today about Pyro next year, 4.0 next year. I think it might have just been a tactic, like a space holder, because I think he's part of the big Pyro thrust. I mean, if Pyro's not coming out for a few months at the least, it would be kind of pointless to bring him back right now.
You know what? You're good. Damn, I like it.
I like it.
What were you gonna say, Kai?
Okay. With regard to Jax, yes, for sure he's coming back. For sure it's gonna be some sizzle. It's gonna be the belle of the ball of IAE. With regard to, you were talking about IAE in general and like 3.17.4, will it be out on time? Here's the truth. 3.17.4 is IAE. The only thing you can count on CIG to come out on time with is IAE and Invictus sales events.
Hey,
so it 1000% 3.17.4 will drop in time and IAE will go off. That's their money. They're not playing with their money. Now 3.18, that is supposed to be first week in January or beginning of December, first week of December, beginning of December. I don't think there's a chance in hell that comes out on time. I think that's coming out sometime in 2023. And this is, again, sort of part of the entire, I love CIG. I love the project. I love Star Citizen. I love the way they do development. I love the way they do 90% of their communication. anything that is remotely attached to a timeline, deadline, schedule, they are the worst at. And I feel like it's time for the community to stand up and just acknowledge that, so that people don't like get false expectations and then become the refundians. I'm not a refundian. I'm not a naysayer. I'm not someone who's looking to shit on Star Citizen. They are phenomenal in so many ways. But all of us, especially the people that are new to the project, should keep in mind, and the people that are experienced with the project should help them keep in mind, set expectations and say, look, this isn't coming in December. I don't know why they haven't told us yet that this is the case. I feel like this is horrible mismanagement of expectations on schedules and timelines. You just have to understand that this is what Star Citizen does. They are phenomenal at so many things, but if you ignore the thing that they're bad at and don't call them out on it, it's going to lead to people going off the rails with their whatever, and then everybody going, what? I don't understand it, whatever. Like those of us that have been here, I know Kusanagi, Dark Knight Fist, Pops, Griff, Fastcart, all the people that have been here, GoMab, all the people that have been here, we know. So when they go, yeah, this is coming out first week of December, we kind of roll our eyes and go, okay, that's nice. But like the people that are new don't know. So they're going to like actually get heartbreak over stuff. And the one thing that we cannot afford to have is a replay of 3.12. 3.12 dropped right before Christmas break, and
They
the
were
game
gone.
was an unplayable mess. It was bad for their consumers.
That wasn't the first time. They
No, it
not
wasn't.
typically, but I mean, it probably wasn't the last time. But I mean, that's been a pattern before 3.12. They would typically you would drop before Christmas. And
You're right.
they'd have a mad dash and bringing the engineers and coders trying to fix what was broken. To spend all that time, and that's how they spend the Christmas weekend or the Christmas holidays sometimes. So yeah.
No
But
thing
the
though.
problem is, if you, I'm sorry, real quick, just I'm going to shut up, I promise. The problem is, those of us who actually know that this is just BS, when we call it out, then people go like, oh, you're one of those. You're on the complainer squad. I'm not on the complainer squad. I love this game. I just wish they would stop slamming their own hand in a car door on scheduling issues and managing expectations with regard to schedules. They create problems for themselves, and it breaks my heart. That's it. I'll shut up now.
And you're splitting the chat. You got one person calling you a blasphemer, and you got another person saying "Amen, brother." So
Well, the interesting is IAE is not for me, and it's not probably for anybody in this chat, in this live studio right now, because IAE is like for the people who got in this year or last year and haven't seen these ships. Like, I just want to see, you show me commercials with a cool ship, I'm like, hey, sweet, here's my money, Like, give me a Pisces ambulance. All right, here's $50. I'm okay with that. I mean, that's all I want. I don't need to go and visit someplace I've seen like how many? 2016. So I've seen like 7 of them now. So I just there's no reason for me to go in there. So yeah, just give me a bunch of commercials. I'm good to go. Don't spend the money on coding in the game. I mean, but they want to just show the new people who's just got in here, like, hey, you can buy this ship and you can buy a Vulture and you can buy, this Avenger and stuff like that. So I get that. It's just,
That's a good point.
it is what it is.
go ahead.
No, get it, MC.
I was going to move on, but you have a question about the topic. Go ahead.
Oh, now my question is if you have the regular Pisces, can you have to buy the new one, or do you
Yeah,
think
there may be a CCU, or maybe you have to melt the old one to get and get a new one if you don't want to spend more money. But typically, there's going to be a war bond. That's going to be $5 or $10 cheaper. So if you want the war bond with LTI, then you have to spend real cash. But typically, if you just melt the old one, and you can get the new one for almost whatever the price difference. If it's $5 or $10, or maybe even the same price if it's just a skin. But I don't think it's just a skin. I think it's a variant.
Okay, so do you think the medical will cost maybe a little bit more?
Probably $5, $10 more. Yeah. I guess. That's not official or anything. That's just my guess.
Would be my guess. Yeah, my guess. That's what I would. Okay.
So yeah, if you melt the old one, you probably have to put in another $5 in RSI credit or $5 in cash and get the new one. That's my guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, so yeah, I just want to say that this is the IAE page. They have the countdown still going on. It's still 2 weeks and 14 hours. We were talking about the free fly. That's from November 18th to the 30th. A test over 100 spaceships and vehicles for free. A new vehicle announcement with an S on the end, so you definitely have at least 2. And special edition paint jobs. That's how they typically do the best in show. I forget which color it is this year. Last year was blue and yellow, so I'm not sure what the color is. Maybe red. Hopefully, if it's red, that'd be great. But I don't think it's red. But yeah, that is the video that we saw earlier. Don't miss our post-hunting IE coverage. This is what the Whitley's thing that we're talking about. We just watched the end of episode 4 from last year. That's when Jack McCreary was taken off, and they typically do like 3 to 6 episodes depending on how they feel that year. But yeah, this is the event program. So day 1, November 18th, you have Drake, then Orion, then Aegis. Then you have the Alien Day. This is day 4, November 21st. Then you have Anvil, and then you have Argo, Grey Cat, Cougar, and Outland. Consolidated Outland, that'll be the Mustang. Day 7 is the 24th, that's Crusader and Crumble. Day 8 is Mist. Day 9 is Sky. And day 10 is Bash and Soul. They do armors and weapons. And then they have everything together, all mixed match from day 11 to day 13. So that's November 28th to the 30th, event finale. So yeah, that'll be a pretty packed. Typically, they do a new ship, not a new ship, but they come out with a viable ship on the first day, and the first day this year is great, so it's probably going to be the Corsair. And then somewhere in the middle, they bring out another ship, and that's what the most likely a concept ship. Last year it was the Odyssey, from Mist. So this year maybe Mist, maybe RSI, not sure.
We should point out, Fastcart. We should point out that they have scheduled a talk from the president of the company of Drake. So there's been a lot of speculation that there's a new Drake, something big coming, and it could be a straight to flyable, it could be a concept. There's all kinds of speculation on that.
Yeah, it's in the commercial.
Well,
That's supposed to be the cutter.
I tend to agree.
When the Corsair is supposed to come out, isn't it?
Yep.
They
just showed it. They showed it in the commercial. It was on the. It's going to be on the showroom floor.
I was just taking the sinister shenanigans. Did anybody notice that Drake and Origin are sharing 2 days together, or at least 1 day together?
Overlap?
No, they're back to back.
Overlap? They are back to back, but there's always an overlap.
It's just
Drake
interesting.
at one level and Origin on another level when they do the overlap. So once Drake goes into because they'll have Drake on for 2 days.
Oh yeah. It's 2 days. I forgot about that. You're right.
Mm-hmm. And Origin to be on for 2 days, so they'll overlap. Interesting concept right there for Drake and Origin fans.
It doesn't really have to mean anything because Aegis and Origin will be overlapped too. So.
No, but I think what he's saying is that from a con perspective, it's kind of like having your NPR group along with your monster truck rally. It's kind of an odd convergence of the two crowds.
There's always this Origin Drake Origin thing. That's the two sides of a coin.
It's like the World Series of chess and a wet T-shirt contest, and we're just holding them together.
Oxymoron. That's citizen shenanigans. Oxymoron.
It's just kind of interesting because the last time they did a CEO release, like the CEO of Drake is going to be presenting this new ship. We expect it to be the cutter. It looks like a big ship. It's hard to tell because of the distance, but it looks like fairly big. And the last time a CEO did this, we got the Pioneer from Consolidated Outland. So it's going to be a pretty big event, I think, for Drake, if you think of it on a company perspective. So it'll be interesting to see what type it is. I mean, a cutter, people think it's going to be like a reclaiming vessel. I kind of think it's going to be more like a cutter would be like a fast, large, not like a ship on the line. There's certainly a smuggling vessel or a ship able to catch smuggling vessels, something like that. So it could be something like kind of the Pioneer was like kind of like swept the rug out from everybody, and it could just be like something we're not thinking of. So I'm hoping it's that. I'm hoping it's like an idea that I haven't heard anywhere, and everyone can go be like, oh my god, because that would be a cool presentation. Because we were looking at that, we worked at that in the past week. I think the Pioneer, and I think us as in Soul Citizens last week or the past couple of days, and it was like, oh yeah, the Pioneer. That was a great presentation. I want that from Drake. I want to be able to go back there like 3 years from now and like, hey, let's watch that presentation again because it was awesome. So I'm hoping that's what we get.
Now,
What if it's a Drake interdiction ship?
now
Mm.
let me ask one question. Let me point out. Now, usually Drake is last, isn't it? Is this the first time Drake is going first? Anybody know?
As far as I know.
I think
Yeah, as
so.
far as
I think so.
Yeah,
They're last for Invictus usually, right?
And
Yeah,
they never
normally
share
last
the
on
same.
Invictus every
They're
year.
never go to the
definitely
same
the
hall.
official sponsor of this whole thing. So
Right.
that's a first for them, 100%.
Well, you got to remember the Corsair's coming out.
Yeah.
I'm not even including the Corsair in all this. I want to know what that big ship is, which I think is probably twice the size of the Corsair.
Yeah, which is
It's hard to
which is part
tell,
of
but
my-
I know what you mean.
which is
When you
part
look at the
of-
blurred picture of their setup on the floor, though, it looks a little smaller. If you look at the blurred frame of the showroom floor for Drake, it has two ships side by side blurred, and the one on the left we think is that Cutter, and the one on the right, the Corsair. It's pretty close, but not quite as big.
Now I have to
wonder
look
if,
at it again.
I wonder
Yeah,
if
take a
Drake
look
will
at
have their own hangar because they usually have their own space. Like they get a hangar or something like that, a really big hangar, and turn it into their showroom because they don't get space on their general floor. So I wonder
they're
if
not
they have
invited.
their own. They're not invited. So I wonder if they have like their own setup for how they.
Typically,
want
they
to
do.
tie it.
They have what's called DrakeCon. That typically
Right.
on-
It used,
during
that was
Invictus.
it. DrakeCon.
DrakeCon, yeah.
That's it. So they never share the floor. So maybe they are.
No,
creating
they
a
have
new
shared the
hall.
floor. Well, back in the day, okay, like when they first started doing this, they did share the floor. But in Lord, Drake people, they had booth babes, and the other vendor didn't like that. That's the lore. They had booth babes, and the other vendor didn't like that. So ever since then, they started to do their own thing, and that became DrakeCon. This is like, but this year they seem to be doing they seem to be back on board with everyone else.
So taking it back to the previous analogy, it's like the monster truck rally people are sponsoring the chess world championship. Like this is just wacky. It's just wacky all over the place, which is cool. It's interesting. I look, you can going back to my previous point, you can criticize CIG for like one aspect, scheduling and anything to do with that, but their marketing and their innovation and all of the things that they do, like, yeah, even if you want to criticize them for other aspects, you cannot with a straight face criticize their ability to market. These guys are off the charts. These guys are far and away above anyone in the industry on marketing.
Yeah, that reminds me. I have one last question before we move on. This is just for me because it just occurred to me from what you're saying. How much money do you think they're going to make this year during the IAE?
They're definitely going to cross the 100 million mark.
Hmm.
They're definitely going to do it in IAE. I'm calling it for sure.
So let me bring up the crowdfunding spreadsheet right now. Right now they're at 509. So if I bring that up, don't put it on screen. Well, let me load it in first before I bring it on the screen. But I'm looking to see how much money they made this year so far.
25% more than last year. I hear it.
I feel it. And keep in mind, this is at a time when all of the rest of the games industry is dealing with like a setback. Like inflation is on the rise everywhere across the world. people are sort of back to their real life, so it's not like, hey, I just live in my living room and I never go outside because we're in the COVID apocalypse. Like, we're in a time where other people are starting to feel like they're getting less revenue for all kinds of things in the game industry. And CIG is just like, okay, we're going to kick it into the next gear. Like, what?
All right, so I have it right now. So let me bring this in here.
I might be wrong, fastcart, but I'm guessing that Avis 0096 in the chat that keeps asking, it might be Zyron who's in the chat queue he has a point maybe on this. I don't know.
Oh, Zyron? Oh, chat queue. Thank you for that. I didn't see it. Thank you for that.
No worries.
Hey, Zyron. Welcome to the show. Sorry about that. I was looking at something in my browser. You got something to say?
Yeah, I'm sorry for being late.
It's all good.
It's all good.
You're here.
No problem. Go ahead. What did you want to say?
That was what he wanted to
He
say.
wanted to say.
All right. I thought you had something.
You guys were talking about Drake, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, my theory is, well, I kind of have a funny theory going about the whole Drake. Why are they number one? As far as I know, they have not been the first starting act for any IAE.
Right.
Well,
That's
just
what
like
we were
everybody
talking
else.
about.
So there's two reasons. The one mechanical reason, which was just discussed, was the fact that we're expecting the Corsair to be dropped right at the beginning. So that's whatever. And then the second reason in lore or in engine, in whatever reason, is that they're sponsoring it this year, which they've never done before.
Well, when the Consolidated Outland gentleman did it, they released the concept for the Pioneer.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be too unreasonable to suggest that we may be getting a new concept announced by the Drake CEO.
Yep.
Mhm.
We
We're all thinking that. Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
absolutely on point.
So right now they're around. I want to say 80. Well, I can look at for the exact number. Let's say. Oh wait. Yeah. Let's say they're at 80 million from Oh, let me scroll down a bit. You can see. There you go. They're around 80 million, or between 85 and 90 million so far for the year. So yeah, definitely gonna cross the 100 mark this year. But you think they're gonna do it during IAE?
Yes. I'm
Hmm.
calling 20.
Definitely.
I'm calling 20 mil plus.
Because last year they made 21, almost 20, well, 21.5 mil.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're gonna
that's
make more.
yeah, that's going up.
Yeah, the year before that they made 16.8 mil. So yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely going up. Recovery Fire, you said 25% more than last year. I could see that easily.
And again, like I said, this is at a time where everybody like stock earnings and whatever for the game industry, everybody's like, well, we didn't do as great as we did last year, but we're doing well, whatever. Everybody's got adjusted down a little bit, except for this project. This is the one project that breaks all of the rules in good ways and bad.
Definitely. Interesting. All right, so up next we have, that is the IAE thing, right? Yep. Okay, so we got the subscriber promotion for November 2022. I'm not really a fan of these suits, but maybe someone else is. So let me read the in-game thing right here. So distinctive Xeon Dual flight suit and helmet feature centuries of Xeon innovation and technology suitable for wearing on all ships. It provides light armor protection while making a statement at every landing zone you visit. So this suit will be available in game at the launch of IAE later this month. So that's something else that's coming during IAE. So let me get a picture of all of them together there. So if you're on a subscriber and you'd like to receive the Xeon Dual Flight and helmet as part of the subscription, you can subscribe before the 8th. If you do that, then you'll get it. But if you don't do it before by the 8th, you have to buy it from the subscriber shop. So yeah, what do people think?
Yeah,
Suit of armor?
for me, it is Independence Day. Has that look of the alien from Independence Day.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Now I see it.
Welcome to Earth.
Mhm.
I mean, I haven't. I got to see it in game, like actually see it. It looks like
It
a
looks
suit
medieval.
of armor. Yeah,
It's
like
medieval.
it literally looks like a suit of armor.
The
And
one on the left, the red suit, looks
Uh-huh.
like the Sith Trooper armor from
oh,
Star Wars.
Force
Yeah.
Awakens, right?
Yeah, something like that. One of the 3 new movies. Yeah.
Mhm.
The black
going
one is
to-
Spot on.
definitely my thing. I like the blackish one the best.
So I'm
So,
zooming in real quick so people can get a better look.
so my observation on this is not at all for me. I'm not in any way excited about this. That aesthetic doesn't work for me. But
Yeah.
everyone has their own taste, and while I don't like this particular thing, I'm sure there will be people that love it. And how boring would life be if we all like the exact same crap? So,
Sure,
like,
yeah.
okay,
right.
but
Got
here's
that right.
here's what I do love about this. Number one, they are starting to implement expressions of the alien species across the game, not just
Bingo.
here's a model
Yeah.
of a ship. Here's alien clothes. We've got Banu cubes. We're starting to see more things with regard to the Banu merchantman and the design of the internal stuff with furniture and whatnot. We're seeing design aesthetics. We're seeing language things that
Relics.
they put into these special like things of like, oh my god, there's space racists out there, we have to watch away. Remember they put in those things from the Banu and the Xi'an in the last 6 months or whatever. There's all of these different pieces of alien cultures that are coming into the game, which makes this much more of a rich experience than you get in other games that mostly deal with aliens. Most video games deal with aliens from the aspect of, we do one model of the face, we give it the Star Trek treatment where everybody is basically a human with a face mask, and we give them different whatever. Like, this game is going much deeper and richer with the cultures that we're dealing with, which is awesome. And the last thing is, I absolutely love the fact that CIG puts stuff like this in the game and says you have to buy this for the first quarter, for the first 3 months. After that, you can go out and loot it in the universe for free. You don't have to pay a single penny. I respect the hell out of them for that.
Well,
And they said that they said that like even if you lose it, you'll get it back. I mean, of course you have to reset, but whatever.
Right.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Sure, you would say something.
Oh, I was gonna say that one thing that struck me was that gold one in particular, the visor on the helmet. Could you imagine if they make ship windows that are like that metallic, the gold one, and you can still see through it? That would be
Flight of the Navigator. You guys remember
Mm.
that?
Very
Keep in
much.
mind they use the same aesthetic though for the Shrikes or whatever for their little ships. It's got this weird opaque thing that it's not a clear screen that you can just see through like a window. It's using cameras to like display through the face of the ship. So it's neat that they went with
Yeah.
a similar aesthetic on their helmet.
That's right. Because if you're on the outside of those ships, you can't look. If you're looking from the outside, you can't see the player.
Yeah,
flying
inside.
the ship on
It's
those
very
ships.
Star Wars to me, like the Old
Yeah.
Republic. It's just missing a lightsaber.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't subscribe to get this, but I might get this in game. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. It's not something that I would want to like put money down to get, but it's okay. It almost had like a samurai or medieval look at it. Someone mentioned that before, but yeah. So let me just read through this real quick. Janto flight suit and helmet. Perfected through centuries of innovation, the Xi'an fabrication sleek and stylish Janto flight suit and helmet had been meticulously adapted to the human physique. This version features a gold and gray colorway with an orange highlight. Its current Centurion subscribers get the Janto flight suit and helmet as part of their subscription. The Janto Seiya flight suit and helmet, perfected through centuries of innovation, just staying out. It's the same thing, basically, but this version features a red and gray colorway. Current Imperial level, that's $20 level, get the Janto Seiya flight suit and helmet as well as the base Janto flight and helmet, so they get both of them. That's typically the case. And finally, have the Han flight suit and helmet. It's the same thing, but this version features a silver and gray colorway with green highlight. The Janfield Han flight suit and helmet is available to all subscribers who pledge from the subscriber exclusive store. So yeah.
I think you're pronouncing it wrong, Fastcart. I think it's supposed to be pronounced on.
You've been waiting for like a couple of minutes to say that, haven't you? I can just tell.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad that they that the for me, if you know, the two good ones are the ones that I got for free.
There you go.
Well, it's not really
That's
free
right.
though. It's not really free.
I mean, well, it's not free, but it's just
Yeah.
it's a throw me. You know,
Mhm.
it's like I have no interest in these, but you know, if I want to pimp them out one day, I can.
I mean, it just beautiful. They had the medieval feel to it.
It's definitely a suit of armor. It looks like a suit of armor.
The red one.
Oh,
Isn't that
without
what
the chainmail.
Keanu Reeves didn't he have that red one in that Dragon movie? He played like a samurai.
Keanu Reeves or Tom Cruise?
No, Keanu Reeves. He played like a samurai. He was fighting some spiritual dragon or something like that.
49 Ronin.
49 Ronin. I think he had that, or
Oh,
I
I
saw
don't remember
something
that
similar
one.
to that red armor there.
The red one reminds me a little bit of a stylized version of the old from Tron, the original Tron, where they had the red suit. This looks like a stylized version of that. The what was it,
gosh,
control
yeah.
program, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
I could see that now.
I would have to compare it side by side. I know what you're talking about though, but yeah, I can kind of see. But it's
So
been
you're
a while.
saying
It's been a while. I'm
we
not
need to
really
have
sure.
we need to have frisbees in the back of our backs
Frisbee,
instead
yeah.
of like rifles.
Exactly.
Come on, RSI, sell us light cycles.
Light cycle paint for
Light
the
cycle.
box. Anyone?
Hey, the Tumble Ranger is the closest you'll get to that.
True.
It is.
Oh yeah.
They could
So,
just
yeah,
get.
they're
You know
talking
what?
about,
If they actually market it like that, we actually would have bought it. But see, they didn't.
Nope. Yeah, so they're talking about lost items. If we talk about the character reset, you get your items back that you paid for. Everything will be earnable in game. As mentioned in the previous pass, their goal is to make offerings available in game. For this reason, you're excited to set subscriber play items have been added to the in-game loot table as a red drop starting in 317. Most pre-2022 items, those that the player can carry, have been added, with the future player having a 3-month exclusivity window. So 3 months from now, you'll be able to get the new armor in game. Basically, is what they're saying.
Respect.
Yeah, big time.
So they also have vehicle of the month. It's the Drake Mural, so you'll be able to get one of those throughout in November with a special insurance. It's not 6 months. It's something I forget what it is. But
It could be 10 years because they do have that 10-year insurance, or maybe it could be a 6
I think that's just for IE and Invictus. I think the subscriber one get like 2 years. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, you can check.
The whole A only gets 6 months or 12 months. The whole
12
A,
months.
that's
Okay, so yeah, probably 12 months. That makes sense. Also, if you love the October and the smallest whole series, the whole A is available with the upgraded in-game insurance until the end of the month. So probably 12 months again.
It's 12 months.
To pick up the whole A. And obviously, they always had the origin miles, but basically they have a subscriber discount for all items in the merchandise store. And that's it.
That's right. Get your Origin mug.
I just gotta have a question. Is there any other mugs besides Origin?
There are.
Griffin just texted me and he said no.
No. Oh, okay.
I want to know why Sig.
Let me.
I want to know why Sig doesn't have Griff in a commercial for these Origin, these cups. So he could be kind of like.
Okay.
We all know the Drake mug will be rusty.
Put Griff in a car commercial. I will buy that ship.
Okay, so hold on for a second. I gotta jump in here. Okay, so I'm noticing something. These say, first, let me make sure. These say subscriber merchandise discount, right?
Yes.
So this is Origin mugs that are on discount, right?
Yes.
So that means they're not selling?
Correct.
Oh,
Maybe.
I mean,
they go
I'm
overstep.
not. You're not
You can't buy a
lying.
Crusader mug right now.
Okay, this is just an example that I have on the screen right now. So you have to have other mugs. This is the RSI mug.
I'm just,
I'm
I'm
pretty sure they
throwing
have-
shots.
Yeah, I know.
Just
I'm pretty sure they
got
have.
to.
I'm pretty sure they have other mugs available too, but they just show Origin on the subscriber store for whatever reason.
Origin.
For
Actually,
whatever reason,
it-
they decided to show Origin all the time.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing, though. The Origin mug, when you put a drink in it, it automatically gets like +2 to the value of it. It becomes a luxury.
+2
This is
charisma.
I'm drinking a luxury, yoo-hoo, sir. Get away from me.
So your water is wetter in Origin.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness. Ooh-wee. Pushing
Alright,
it. Pushing
alright.
Tea is
Moving
sweeter.
on.
Oh, you
Moving
know
on.
what's funny? I'm looking at the store. The Origin mug is $3 more expensive than the Drake mug.
Yes, but if
Really?
you get the Drake mug,
Oh.
it comes with tetanus. So
Oh my god.
So the Drake
So,
mug as a
the-
whole.
And
the
rough.
RSI mug is
Mug.
So it
17.
must be rough.
So-
They're using the crap.
So the
crappy
Drake mug.
syrup.
You're
It
right.
I apologize, DK, but so the Drake mug's got like super glue holding a handle on with a little bit
Yes.
of duct tape.
It really
yep,
should.
there's one exposed
Correct.
wire that you have to not electrocute yourself with
Yeah,
every time you drink.
So I'm looking at the store now. It's like DK said, the Origin mug is $17.50. That's without the RSI the subscription discount, by the way. $17.50 for Origin, and the Drake is $15 even.
Mhm.
Drake mug should cost more. It comes with features.
I like
Yeah.
it.
No, you bring your own duct tape.
Yo, okay, look,
Alright.
legit. Chris Roberts put out a commercial with Griff in a top hat with a cane and tuxedo top. He could be even wearing shorts, but just a tuxedo top. Selling those Origin mugs, you will sell out. You will have to call it. You will have to call over to some place in China and say, "Make more mugs."
Now, here's the thing, though. Here's my thing. Now, I'm gonna say two things. First, when you talk about mugs,
last thing before we move on. Go ahead.
So yeah, so when you look at the mugs shouldn't they be like for Origin champagne glasses?
They have shot glasses, shot
But
glasses
see,
and stuff like
that's
that.
shot glass. But you know, what I mean, Origin is supposed to be champagne glasses, right? Now, the second thing I was gonna say, if it's a Drake,
Didn't I just say one thing?
mug,
Go ahead.
no, I told you already. I was gonna say two. I said that. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be real quick. So the second one is when you look at a Drake mug, right? That's not coffee in it. That's motor oil.
Oh.
I will say, one thing I'm disappointed in is the fact that you go to the IAE or Victus or whatever, and you go to the clothing store for your character, and they have all these shirts and all this hats I can wear for my character in game, and I can't buy them in real life. I'm slightly disappointed by that because I'm like, I would like to buy this. Like, how can I buy this? Like, why can my character? Why
You
can I
could
not?
make them. You could go to one of those
Feature
stores
creep.
and just get the logo and put whatever design and make your own.
Feature creep.
I'm just saying, it's a good idea. Maybe it'll happen in like 4 years when they get, Pyro out. But I'm
Alright.
just saying.
So moving on. So the PU monthly report for October 2022. They have a feature. They do this every month. This is the monthly report. Did anyone have a chance to go through this? Do you have any highlights that you want to bring up?
Oh, this thing.
Anything stands out to anybody?
Yeah,
The
oh,
AI.
this thing, right?
All the AI stuff always stands out to me, and it's
What in
just
particular?
good to. I don't
Banana
know. I
Defender.
got to read it over because I only glanced through it. I didn't really read it. So
I like how Fast Cards goes like, here's the monthly report of all the changes of the month, and it's crickets. And then he's like, here's an Origin coffee mug, and we do 30 minutes.
I could go a quick
Right?
synopsis. So like what they're talking about with the AI content is vendor and patron behaviors.
Okay.
And those kinds of things interest me because of the Starliner, of course, and passenger behavior, the flight attendant behavior, all of those kinds of things that the NPCs have to be able to do in order for a player to get them drunk to keep them quiet, or whatever. That doesn't happen, but it's just those kinds of things. And I know a lot of this is probably for Squadron 42, but it does trickle down, and I see where it could be used in in instances that I'm interested in. So I thought that was I saw that was really important.
DK, all I have to say is Ixnay on trickle down A. Go ahead, you two.
Trickle down, didn't I?
God damn.
Oh,
We're not reliving Reagan. No, let's go.
Wrong choice of words. Okay.
No, they also implied that the AI, when you like distract them or make a noise, they're gonna hunt you down. They're not gonna, just look real quick. They're gonna hunt you down. So the day that they can remember people, that's when we know they got it cooking. So step by step, they're getting there.
The one criticism
Plus, they were talking about the whole light thing. Like, if you turn a light off, they might throw like a rock to like distract them. They'd be like, they won't just go in the dark and like see what the rock was. They'll be like, they'll check the light switch and see if the light switch will go on. It's like that's kind of crazy. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yep.
My biggest criticism of the monthly report is that they completely failed to discuss any adjustments or improvements on the Origin coffee mugs.
Wait, call back,
I will say this is like one of the biggest articles I've seen regarding this. This is a very long.
It's very
They're
long.
all long, but
Very
I don't know
long.
if this is extra long, but it feels longer than usual. I give you that. I don't know.
Some
I don't know.
of these things
I
they
think
talk about. Yeah, go ahead.
with some of these though, fastcart, honestly, it's like they can talk a lot without saying all that much. I think this one had decent meat to it. All kidding aside, I think this one was it had insights to where they're going with things that I thought were interesting.
So you heard it here first. You heard it here first, folks. This one has meat, so if you're a vegan, don't check it out. But if you like meat, go and read the monthly report.
Jesus. Bum, 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 bum.
You might need to bring a mug with you. It's so long, you might need a mug filled with some type of coffee or drink.
You know what's funny is that they really are just waiting for server meshing to get Pyro in, because a lot of this stuff
It's
that
PES
I'm
now.
here, and PES right now. But what I'm looking at is like they're talking about like here the lighting. Lighting continued their work on Pyro, Lorville, IAE, Orison's Racetrack, and Security Post Korea. Why do you have to even mention Pyro? Because it's pretty much done.
But the fact of the matter is, the fact of the matter is, DK, honestly, I think it's going to shock the entire community. I think more than half of all of the work they've done in the last 2 years is waiting on server meshing. PES, server meshing and PES aren't the same things. PES is a step on the way to server meshing. But what I'm saying is there's so much stuff that they have done in the background that we haven't seen, and some of which we haven't even heard of, that is waiting on the extra budgets to be put in place, that they can only sort of flip that switch when they get server meshing. And when they do, I honestly believe, and maybe I'm naive, but I swear to God, I honestly believe that it will be night and day the amount of differences in so many aspects of the game that it's going to blow people's minds.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's it for the monthly report. But yeah, that's a good idea. Good place to end.
He squeezed 5-10 minutes out of it. You thought you were all over.
Up next, we have the this week's serialized fiction called Crossroad by that's the in-person named Jeremy Melule. But yeah, this one came out yesterday. So if you're interested in fiction and lore piece, this is another long piece. But this is like several pages long this time. So yeah, check that out. It's in the in-game lore of Star Citizen and Squadron 42.
It's funny because I haven't looked at it yet, but like I just jumped to a small sentence and it goes, gritting through the pain until the caustic chemicals burned his wound, cauterizing it. Then he had to turn his leg and burn the other side where the scrap had pierced through. And we're getting so much medical ships. We're getting so much stuff. And they're going to put stuff in there that makes backspacing a bad idea, that it's stuff like that that makes you think that's where they're headed.
Locker
You're
on
gonna
the
have to
way.
cauterize your wound. You have scars. You don't want to lose your quote unquote skill tree or whatever they're doing. You don't want to res too many times because you end up losing, your person's gonna eventually die or whatever. So they're really pushing the medical really hard.
By the way, I just want to say you read that so well. Have you ever thought about becoming a narrator for stories?
Maybe like
Never
a radio
again.
show.
Never again.
That'd be kind of weird in 2022. I don't know. I don't think they do radio programs anymore.
I think
Maybe we could stream it on Twitch.
I think
Stream it on Twitch and YouTube even. Yeah.
And make a video where you can go back and watch it again.
I think with
Chat,
these
go
lore-
to YouTube, Soul Citizens, and check out the show from last week.
Hello, this is Emerald
Not shameless.
Kusanagi, and I have an awesome voice.
Good, Kai.
Maybe I'll listen to it.
I think with these lore articles, it like you guys mention them every week, and you for sure you guys just say, hey, this is here, and it's, check it out if you're interested, because you guys aren't trying to spoil it, which I totally respect. But I think there's a ton of people in the community that are sleeping on these, and every time they're really, like 90% of them are really, really, really good. They like, I think it's so easy for people to just gloss over it, and it's like, oh, it's a link in the thing, and I didn't read it. I read the headline. It looks okay, whatever. I see so many content creators sort of gloss over it. Like, if you're in the community, if you care about this game, if you're interested in lore and getting into a rich experience in the Star Citizen universe, you are really robbing yourself of the opportunity if you don't click on that link and check it out every week. Like, read through it with the stuff that they do. The one on the missing Zeus that had gone missing on the far side of on like Jupiter or Pluto or whatever. That one still to this day has my head spinning on possibilities for, the ghost ship or what the hell happened to that crew. Like, there's so much stuff with this that is really, really good. So just a sincere appeal to all of you. Don't rob yourself of the experience. Read those articles. They're great.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
They should
Or,
write a ebook of short
or-
stories for lore. For Star
or you
Citizen.
can go to the Paul Shelley's channel.
Oh yeah, because he does a lot.
That's true
of
also,
lore
yeah.
videos.
Lore historian.
If I may
Lore
make
historian.
another
Astro
comment,
historian.
Emerald Kusanagi on a similar story, the Hades system story with the other vanished ship.
Oh, the Carrick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and if anyone wants
Cool.
me to hire me to read the stories, just hit me up.
Yeah, you just go
There you
straight to
go.
Audible and get an audition. They'll probably give you a job.
Just go to youtube.com/Kusanagi ASMR.
I'll be like Robin Williams. I'll be like
No,
hitting my
no,
chest. Be
no,
Like,
you
He's
wanna
gonna
go
be
to
reading bedtime stories.
You want to go to onlyfans.com/Admiral
Oh no!
Demonetized.
Scavenger 676 said gamers can't read. So
Yep.
yeah, that's probably why people are sleeping on them also.
Gamers don't read. Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, so up next we have our Inside Star Citizen. So this is 11 minutes long. I'm probably going to go through this whole thing and then come back at the end. But I have a good stop point. Maybe I'll stop in the middle. I'm not sure yet. I haven't watched it yet because I'm going to watch it live with you guys. So let's get started with Inside Star Citizen. This is called The Cargo Show.
318, the future is bright for cargo.
We're moving away from the simplistic implementation that we had before into something that's more of a real simulation.
With the new physicalized cargo, it opens doors for us to give some new gameplay. Cargo today is pretty basic. You go to a kiosk, you use an interface. So you load your ship, it automatically loads. Get in that ship, you drive that ship to a port, and then you sell what you bought. But there's not a lot of interesting choices there.
With the current implementation, whenever we designed it, we did not have the tractor beams that we have now. What that meant is that you were not able to pick up and manipulate the larger 1SU boxes. At the time, all that you could do was pick up the smaller 1/8 SU boxes. But this gave us a problem for piracy and looting in general, in that the really valuable things are sold and bought in these 1SU boxes in higher volumes, but the only thing the player can actually pick up are the smaller ones. So what we had to do is a kind of hack in the cargo system such that when a vehicle explodes, instead of generating the larger 1SU boxes on destruction, it actually generates the smaller ones in this kind of gamey, magical way, so that the player can actually go pick up some of the boxes from the destruction.
All right, let me give you an example. The C2 has 696 SCU, which equates to 5,568 1/8 SCU boxes that you have to loot. But the ship exploding should damage some of those boxes, and we want to have about 40 to 50% survive that explosion, so that's still about 2,000 1/8 SCU boxes.
But then there's server performance issues to consider. So what we've actually been doing is capping that at 10% boxes being generated. However, on top of that, it's an incredibly tedious experience, because now that's, if you were to do the math, about 400 boxes that you have to go pick up, and collecting all of those by hand without a tractor beam.
With the new system, we've gotten rid of the 1/8 SCU cargo containers. Everything is 1 SCU cargo containers. So in the case of the C2 with the 696 SCU, that would be 696 1 SCU boxes rather than 5,000 plus.
Every single one of those boxes is a real entity in the game, like any other entity in the game. It is tracked in the database as a persistent entity now that we have the new persistent entity streaming architecture. And it means that now that there are entities that are persistent, they can be interactable. So now you can do things like use the tractor beams to pull them out of the cargo hold or put them into a cargo hold. It also means that whenever we do ship destruction with the new system, we don't have to generate anything. Instead, all that we do is we take the entities that were already created and we just simply detach them from the cargo hold and let them float in space. Now, we still want to have some of that explosive destruction, so there's a certain amount of variable amount of that cargo that is destroyed on ship destruction.
Actually giving you back somewhere, it's actually 0 to 90%, but that's calculated every time your ship explodes. So what happens then is now we're actually hitting that 40 to 50% number on average.
This means that both for players that want to reclaim the cargo that they lost on ship destruction, or for pirates that want to scoop up their ill-gotten gains, then they'll have an easier time to get at it, and there'll be more value there when they try to do so.
There is also the new commodity kiosk flow, which is a step in the right direction for helping you understand what you're buying and what you're selling and what's available at the places where you buy and sell commodities. It's a new UI. It's the new building block UI, so it should be a lot easier to understand and gives you a graphical representation as you're buying and selling of how much space that you have on the ship that you're buying and selling into. 3.18 is not the end of the cargo refactor. There's lots of stuff that we're in the design process for right now, including manual loading and unloading, as well as automatic loading and unloading. We're also looking at some big box cargo missions that separate the cargo from the hauling professions. So that's something to look forward to. We have a lot more content coming that use these new features. We hope you enjoy it in 3.18.
And as a coda to all of that, Chris Roberts actually came by my desk the other day, and we talked a bit how it was unfortunate that we even have to allow players to lose 40 to 50% of the cargo. And we talked and decided that we would try to come up with an interim solution on our path to physicalized damage that would allow us to leave the husks of ships behind on vehicle destruction instead of just exploding them and erasing all the contents. This would allow players to explore the ships and find the cargo and physically move it off the husks of the ships, rather than just generating a percentage of the boxes on destruction.
Like every other aspect of Star Citizen's continuing development, The cargo refactor isn't a one drop and it's done kind of feature. And the first implementation, much like persistent entity streaming alongside it in the upcoming Alpha 3.18, is about rebuilding existing functionality within an entirely new foundation that will now set the stage for the persistent universe to reach its fullest potential in subsequent patches to come. And while we're here talking about new technologies designed to be built upon,
and I think that's it for the first half. And I just wanted to, yeah, that was quite a bit. So yeah, I'm gonna hop in the middle of that and see what people think of that. So I'm gonna let this be a free for all. Anyone want to jump in and tell me what you thought of the first half of ISC?
Who wants to go first?
Sound like you do.
Okay, I'll go first. I literally was asking if anybody else wanted to. This is good. You know, it's a refactor of the way that cargo or commodity trading works right now, and it's getting the building blocks in, and it's moving over to a more physicalized, unit, standardizing the SCU boxes from the 1/8 to the 1 SCU, which is good, more value per box. All of that is good. And since it is tier 0, I understand that it is just let's get the bare bones in, let's get the framework in so that we can start doing the other cargo stuff. Like he had mentioned, cargo missions and separating the cargo from hauling. I wish he would have said trading commodities as opposed to cargo hauling, because cargo hauling is completely different than trading commodities. Let's just be frank. It's completely different. A truck driver doesn't go buy his load and then go to another place and sell the load on his truck. He hauls somebody else's stuff to another location, and that's what cargo hauling is. So this is commodity trading, which we're still dealing with that. But I look forward to the kind of cargo missions that they're going to have in the future, that I can go and load up. Somebody's going to pay me a certain amount to load up their cargo and take it to, X location. And depending on the distance and time and the way it was carried, is it if it was valuable, was it handled correctly, the state that it comes in, factors into the amount of pay you get and your reputation. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to, and this is a stepping stone towards that. It's like putting in a foundation so that I can get to that point with my Starliner, because I'm not a cargo runner technically, but my Starliner will run cargo in addition to passengers. So there's this is stepping stone to how I would want to run missions, is running a cargo mission and a passenger mission at the same time. So that would be really cool. But it's a good start. This literally is it's a really good start. Piracy is going to have fun. I'm interested to see how that's going to work for the pirates out there, that they can get more value per box that they grab, and that there's opportunity to even get it from a destroyed ship. That's really cool. I thought that was awesome.
Can I jump in now? Or
Yeah, I'm
done. Oh, okay. I wanted to say, because you mentioned, I want to piggyback off of where you just left off, though, DK, is that piracy part. Now, when I saw this, I'm like, man, this is a lot of boxes.
Right.
Now for a piracy group to sit there and have to tractor beam and put onto a ship. So my thoughts was thinking that, okay, does a piracy group now have to say, okay, yeah, we're getting more value out of these boxes, but is it worth our time to blow up the ship or to try to take the ship? Because naturally, realistically, that's really where we're trying to go, is to try to board the ship, take the ship, and then, go off, do whatever you got to do to sell items. So I'm just thinking about that, like, man, because you send out a distress beacon, and and you call your backup, your boys or whatever, and now they over there picking up the boxes. Now they got a fight on their hands, while they're trying to pick up the boxes. So I was just trying to think, But go ahead, Pops. I'm sorry. I just want to jump in there and say that.
Oh no, I would just you know, how they've expanded the gameplay and they're moving forward. With it something as simple as, yeah, they could have the boxes just float there and we'd be none the worse off if they didn't move forward. But by them saying, as an example, in the like the pinata effect, you blow up a
Right.
ship and all the boxes just fly everywhere, and could be a free for all. But then they said later on, he said, Chris came and he said, let's try to have the boxes inside the hull of the ship, which makes more sense. You would expect some of the boxes to escape, but when I first saw it, I'm thinking more inside, traveling through the ship, looking, getting the flashlight out and getting
Yes.
in there. And then when
Definitely.
then when they said, let's, that's what they're eventually going for. I thought that was pretty. Out the back of the ship, he's just like seeing all the sea of boxes laying out there. And he's like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be here for a while. Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't
funny.
I don't personally like the idea of having like kind of what Pops was saying. Like I don't like the idea of having the wrecks with no cargo. Like I don't understand why they're falling through the ship like you see here and they're falling into space. Like I want to be able to go into the ship and find them strewn all about. And it's funny, I watched one of the I don't know, Discovery show or whatever. It's like plane crashes and they go into the NTSB and how they solved all the plane crashes and they show you wrecks and all that stuff. Like, yeah, you've got luggage like strewn about, but like there's a lot of stuff inside the ship. And if they're gonna have wrecks be in the game, and then there should be stuff in the game, I do not know why they have to be different sized. Like if I've got a big thing of minerals, why they have to like have coating in there to flip it around and to be a smaller piece of box so someone can like use a tractor beam on it. I don't understand that. Like they can use the double-handed one because we know that we're getting that one. So yeah, I just don't understand that. And then, I'm certainly for having them be destroyed or damaged where they make, it's kind of like the missions we had with the, what we currently have where if you jumble this thing up or you go into quantum with an item, then that item is worthless. So they could easily do that where there's a box that's like, oh, it had this in it, and now it's like just all got destroyed. The contents got destroyed. They could easily, I think, figure something out like that. But regarding what Dark Knight said regarding the cargo and the hauling, like absolutely, I can't wait for that.
I want to say two things. So this is the part where I think Pop is mentioning, right? This what you meant, Pop? Yeah, that's a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of work. I don't know how long that would take one person or even a group of people to do, but yeah.
And I'll remember that is how it is now.
Right.
They're going to move away from that to the larger.
So it would be 1/8 as many.
The other thing that I'm just trying to mention is why they gotta be different sized boxes. You gotta remember, not all ships or not all vehicles can carry one SCU or two a bigger box.
If you want to salvage, you got to bring the right tool for the job.
Exactly. You could take stuff out of that box, throw it into the smaller box. I don't care what you have to do.
That's true, but I mean, if you have a starting player and you just have a smaller vehicle or whatever,
and they need to be going after different targets.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not for them.
Why do they have to be able to do the biggest thing? This is the same thing. Like, the one player should be able to take their javelin and one man it because one person should be able to do everything in the game. Like, that's just not going to happen.
The reason why you don't want 8 times as many boxes is because that's 8 many times as pull on the resources of the engine to get it to make it go. So that's why they don't want to do it.
One of the reasons too is because my Starbucks coffee is going to remain in the same location on Daymar for the next 20 years, and Sig says it should stay there until someone picks it up.
Why are you spending so much money on Starbucks? I mean, come on, no, I'm messing with you.
They have a good hot chocolate. That's all I'm going
to say. Continuing on the theme of expectations and time frames, am I the only person here that was excited and was expecting to see in this thing when they were talking about cargo, oh, this is going to be the one where we're talking about the cargo refactor. All of the stuff we've been seeing for all of this time about, oh, did this work on the cargo elevators? Did that work on this? Did this work? And with the mule coming out and with all these things, I was really expecting we were going to see here some stuff with, here is the actual, process of the elevator comes down and here's how you're going to load your ship. I thought we were going to be getting into that. And now I feel like we're waiting for it, and now they manage expectations to, hey, this is more of a conceptual talk, and of course this is going to be a thing that comes out over many iterations in the coming years or whatever. And it's like, am I the only one that was a little bit like, don't get me wrong, I dug what we saw, but I kind of felt like, dude, I was totally expecting to see, here's a vehicle or a procedure of moving stuff from this elevator, this cargo elevator that they've been talking about nonstop, to the ship. And now it's like, oh no, that's going to come at some point in the, mystical future.
Dude, I didn't even think about that until you said that.
Was I the only one that was really expecting to see that
No,
stuff
but I
today?
kind of expected it from a tier 0 that they're just going to get the basics in.
No, but they literally have been putting on reports and
Oh,
stuff.
no, they have.
Stuff about the cargo elevators and this and this
Right.
and this
Right.
in for work of 318. And now here they're saying, here's what is going to be for 318. And it's like, hey, let's have a conceptual
I didn't even think about that because I was watching JMB on Mac Brothers today, and he was like, "Oh, I'm super hyped over this cargo, thing. This should be really good." So I didn't even think about it that way. Yeah,
I really, I'm just kind of, again, all the work that they do, I love it. It's just time frames and managing expectations on time frames. They build you up for, hey man, we're gonna do this is the cargo refactor. Here we got this cool little new forklift vehicle that doesn't fork. We got all this stuff. We got cargo elevators, and then we saw none of that.
They literally have to make
look how
do what the deal's supposed to do by tier 1. They should.
Yeah, but look how cool this
They
thing looks
literally-
with all the boxes and everything falling down.
Yeah.
People
yes.
have been speculating about
But
loot pinatas in this game. They just
But if you
literally was
notice-
a loot pinata just now.
But if you noticed, the ship didn't turn into a charred mess when usually the ships blow
True.
up.
Yeah.
It turned into a charred mess. Did you notice that ship blew up, but it was still the ship? It's just parts of it just flew apart. Like the nose of the C2 fell off and the tail fell off, and
But they were always capable
the
of doing
husk
that.
of the ship is still there.
The only thing they talk to with respect to the loading and unloading of the ship was to say, oh, and in the future we're going to definitely work with. There should definitely be ways to manually load your ship and automatically load your ship. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought we were getting that now. I thought we were getting that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, who knows what's coming up? And like this is still Alpha 3.18. Who knows what's coming in 4.x or in the future?
I'm super excited to manually load my ship sometime in 2027.
In reference to the piracy, I just feel like if
go ahead.
Oh no, I'm saying in reference to the piracy, I just feel like if it's a balance, like whatever it took for that person to load that ship, if it's not any easier for the pirate to unload it, that's what's fair, right? So if the person can only load 1/8 SCU, then that's what you should have to unload, right? I mean, as simple as that.
Well, don't forget, they're getting rid of the 1 SCU boxes. It's all 1 SCU now.
Yeah, that's what they're transitioning to. Yeah.
Pops, you have the last word before we move on to the next part of ISC. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of go with a little further with Kai is saying. I would like to see, when you pull up to a station and you're getting ready to fill up with cargo, that some stations may not calculate how much room you have. So that leaves it up to you. Let's say you have a certain amount of space left. So if you buy maybe more than you need, it's left on the dock. so you have to kind of come in and think about what you're doing instead of letting that, because when you go to the terminal and that new UI looks very good, that you are left with calculating how much space you have, how many boxes can you fit. So if you buy extra, that's on you, and it's kind of left on the dock, and
That would be awesome.
yeah, that's kind of your problem.
Yeah. My thought was that I do wonder how all that's going to affect the servers, and I'm understanding why they went from 1/4 SCU to a full SCU. Cause, I mean that'll be less stress on the server, but still that's a lot of boxes in that ship. So we'll see what happens when it gets implemented into the game. All right, so up next we have the rest of ISG. So let's get to it.
First implementation, much like persistent entity streaming alongside it in the upcoming Alpha 3.18, is about rebuilding existing functionality within an entirely new foundation that will now set the stage for the persistent universe to reach its fullest potential in subsequent patches to come. And while we're here talking about new technologies designed to be built upon from one patch to the next, let's chat us up some Rastar, the internal tool that we've been developing now that's currently in use, placing outposts throughout both the Stanton and Pyro systems.
The whole purpose of Rastar is to make the thing easier for the devs to place location at the surface of a planet. And in the end, it will be used as the system for player to build their bases. We have Rastar because the previous system, based on prefab, was quite hard to use and not up to scale for the scale and the scope we want for our planet density. Any changes to the planetary generation, like for example, you just change a canyon, you add a canyon to the planet, you'll have to redrop every modules at the surface of a planet to be sure they are well aligned with the new terrain and the new modifications of the terrain. Rastar makes that better by allowing, first of all, the ability to directly follow the modification of terrain topology, so we don't have to refresh anything. Plus, it gives us more granularity and modularity of the locations. Backers should be caring about Rastar and all these improvements, because that's the way we will be able to give you, the players, the most dense area we can imagine to keep in line and have all the planets, all the moons filled with POI and things to do on the surface, and maybe later in orbit of these planets and moons. CitizenCon 2951. It changed not much in terms of visual, mostly UI rework, but features are all there. Just a lot of internal work to allow the new build location to fit more and be more productive. So now we can have modules and elements that are nested and indented, so we better understand what depends on what. And we also added the ability to collapse parts of the tool, so to have a better understanding and more focused work on some parts of the tool. We also worked on better tools integration, so now we are able to use the base tools of the editor, such as gizmos or roll-up bar, to modify some elements of Rastar, which was not possible previously due to some breaking while doing so, and to keep consistency with the Rastar flow. But with that changes now, most of the in-edited tools are usable with Rastar without any risk. We also moved the object containers used for Rastar to streaming object containers to keep in line with the whole streaming process of the network system. So now we gave the ability for the server to load and spawn and despawn some locations and elements at will to avoid crowding the whole server memory. And we also now converted the whole connector system that was presented during the last CitizenCon to item ports. So now again, to keep in line with the in-house way we do things and to better integrate some elements such as the resource network that will later be available on the locations. I'm quite happy with the result of Rasta. There is quite some work to do on it, but the result is promising, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna love the location we will roll out with Rasta.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that the cargo effector will physicalize the manner in which we transport goods in such a way that makes retrieval after disaster, or collection after piracy, easier and more rewarding than ever before. That it's the new foundation for an entirely new trade experience that will continue to develop over subsequent patches. That it may yet have some fortunate side effects on vehicle destruction, ship husks, and salvage in the not too distant future. And that the Rastar tool, first introduced at last year's CitizenCon, is already being used to populate the planets of Pyro in next year's 4.0 and Stanton in this December's upcoming Alpha 318. Now don't forget that this year's Intergalactic Aerospace Expo is right around the corner. You can go to the robertspaceindustrials.com website to find out all the details. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We'll see you all here next week.
And we're back. So I think we're going to go in order this time. I have a question on you. What you thought of the rest of ISC?
Did I not just hear him say Pyro in next year? 2023.
Yes, you did.
So
Yes,
January
you did.
1st, we're all getting Pyro. That's awesome. I can't wait.
Not quite.
I'm all for any work to get these outposts done quicker. Certainly, if they help the Pioneer kind of be able to be used a little bit more efficiently and quicker, and not be so cumbersome with the server, and make things work a little bit easier. So yeah, I'm a little cautious if they have to redo all the outposts over again to kind of use this coding, but hopefully not. So that's it.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's make. I said we're going to go in order, but let's make a free for all again, because I think we're running a little bit behind. I didn't realize the cinema was going to be 10 minutes. So yeah, did anyone have any thoughts?
Yeah, I thought exactly what Admiral said. I thought about the Pioneer when I saw this. When we get our hands on it, and those of us that play games like Icarus and we build our homes, things like that, and we have to go out and make sure the Pioneer has enough material, and also will we need architecture, ability to design and implement implement that in the game to our design. I have always heard they're going to have a state of the art look to it, so I'm excited about it, especially like Admiral said, for the Pioneer when it comes out, when we get our hands.
I'm sure morphologists would love to make his architect ability available for the Star Citizen community.
Yeah, and it was nice to see the Pyro.
That would be cool.
Scene. Yeah, because I was wondering where that was at CitizenCon, but okay, now we get.
Can I echo what Pop said? Because it's the same. Yeah, you really hit the point. And you and Admiral, Pioneer owners, man, this is good. This is real good. And Pops, you were talking about design. That was what I was thinking when we were watching this video. It's like, you might have to hire a designer. You come up with a concept and you talk with your designer, and they work in Rastar to put your design together, and then they build it with their Pioneer. I think that is.
Yeah, I can just imagine
cool things. Yeah,
I can just imagine some of the designers saying this outpost need more feng shui.
Wow.
Anyone else?
That's all I had to say.
Well, as a Pioneer owner, I paid attention to one of those videos. Well, a couple of them, and they did point out there is an architect station on the bridge, and they made a remark about how important that guy is going to be on the ship. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to trying to build a crew that can actually get the job done, and that's going to be an important part.
Yeah,
That architect.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, I think that's it for. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the comment on Pyro next year, better be. With regard to showing all the stuff with Rastar out, I think it looks awesome. Calling it now. Drake is going to announce this IAE, the new Drake Pioneer. It builds habitats out of cardboard boxes. Go!
Hey Kai, if it doesn't come out next year, you have to change your name from Kai Zen to Kai Grumpy.
If it doesn't come out next year, I am going to be seriously just bummed.
Hey, CIG may break his heart, but they'll never break Kai's wallet.
Jared,
till Pyro comes.
I want to say, thank you for Captain Rob Morgan for this raid. Appreciate it. We're just wrapping up ISC, but we're about to go into cinema. So welcome to Soul Citizens, everybody. So yeah, that's it for this week ISC. That was a pretty interesting episode. And yeah, looking forward to seeing more of them again. So I'm glad they're back. Alright, so up next we have the Machinima. This is from Dark Media. It's 10 minutes long, and it's titled Adrenaline is Pumping in New Babbage. News for Star Citizen and Civilians. So let's check it out.
You're watching Hardware Galactic. I'm Oliver Zark. These are tonight's headlines. Tech giant Metropolis New Babbage is quickly getting known for its prominent racing culture, and we send our reporter to catch the latest races. In a unique, anchor-made story, we're finding out how you, the ordinary Imperial Joe, can make sure you get the treatment you deserve. And lastly, do you have lots of money and time but no way to spend it? Look no further than to one of the richest and most wasteful stunt collectives in the galaxy. Good evening, viewers. We begin tonight's report by visiting the racing scene in New Babbage. Due to its cold climate, the frozen city has always had a long tradition of hosting races, where manufacturers can have their drivers push their vehicles to the absolute limit. The flat frozen lakes and bustling nightlife has made this techno-metropolis one of the most popular sites for all types of racing, and even though this might change in the future, where the soon-to-open Orison racing track might have Crusader offering up some interesting competition, New Babbage will always be part of any bigger racing league's choice of location. The city has seen a lot of racing action recently, so to find out more, we figured we would send out our dedicated reporter for sports and leisure, Casey Cross. Take a look.
Lately, Stanton's biggest consumer of Widow and Therapy, New Babbage, has had several top-class racing leagues visiting the frozen landscapes. Both the Tour de Verse and the XGR League have been here recently, taking advantage of the cool breeze of Microtech to push their vehicles even further. Most recently, however, Atmo, the organization behind the infamous Daymar Rally, held an exhibition race between B-list celebrities and Grey Cat developers, celebrating the launch of the new Grey Cat STV. The STV is fast and is light, so naturally in a landscape like this, winning the race or even finishing would probably be difficult. This race, however, was not about winning, but all about bringing the racing community together for an awesome event where both Atmo and XGR, two of the biggest leagues in racing, treated us to their expert opinions and analysis on the new vehicle from Grey Cat. Out of the over 25 racers who started out, only a handful managed to even finish the course. Top names from the highest ranks in the Daymar Rally and the Stanton 7 were eliminated by accidents and overlooked hazards. Two-time Daymar Rally champion Jet Heller was obviously struggling in 8th place, and after keeping the lead for 3/4 of the race, top racer Diplomat managed to wreck their vehicle just a kilometer from the finish line. The racer who managed to win it all was RP20010, seen here in the morning sun waving to our camera crew from the finish line. As we leave New Babbage, we want to thank Atmo and the developers from Grey Cat for a very special and exciting event. For Hubwire Galactic, I'm Casey Cross.
Thank you, Casey. It's awesome to see profiles from both XGR and Atmo coming together to host an event like this. Good on them, and great for us who get to watch it. Moving on. Recently, we heard about an organization so dedicated to the medical profession, they're being contracted by other organizations to hold exercises and field courses in medical practice. They've effectively mixed military tactics and medical practice and turned themselves into the ultimate first responders. They're called MedRunner, and they operate as a premium service, responding quickly with a team to whoever accepts their rates. And after hearing about them, I had to invite myself to come along for an operation and see what they're all about. Take a look. I was invited to meet up with the MedRunner org at Port Olisar, where we would sit and wait for today's medical emergencies to hit their frequencies. Clients who pay for their premium service are able to call a MedRunner emergency response team, and after taking a couple promotional pictures, their communications officer informs us that there's a downed premium client on a nearby moon. The team embarks into their emergency response gunship and has saved a seat for me, from where I try to conduct an interview with the team while in flight. For how long would one have to wait for help?
I mean, you're here. You're seeing how fast we're going.
Would you deny aid for someone who couldn't afford your rates? It's a premium service, right?
I don't know, I'm just one of the line medics.
Oh, okay. You're just getting paid, I guess. Did you take a doctor's oath or something?
Yep.
Right. Did you take a personality test? These guys are fast and well trained, but I try to keep up and not be in their way. However, their speed and effectiveness tends to leave me a little disoriented. I made the logical decision that I should try to stay on the elevator and try to tap into security cameras and helmets instead of going in with the team. Here's the footage.
Set up perimeter, medics go to work.
Alright.
Securing
Look.
entrance.
Patient has a tier 3 chest injury. Reviving.
Move it.
I already knew these guys were effective and fast, but was still surprised when the elevator hit the top floor and I was once again left behind. I got back to the ship and the crew had already started celebrating the successful mission. The party was upstairs, but as I'm not a paying premium client, I was not welcome.
Upstairs is VIP only.
I got in the bunk bed on the lower deck and tried to summarize my day with the MedRunner organization. They're strict, rule-loving, hard-partying, and well-oiled medical machine. And if you're a paying customer in need, a MedRunner team is for about 30 minutes also your best friend. For Hardware Galactic, I'm Oliver Zark. While still in their infancy, MedRunner works hard on recruiting future clients, but until they're properly established, they do offer up their services for standard agreement UEE medical charges. To get in touch with your closest MedRunner team, you can use their Spectrum service. Check out their organization page for more info. Now, let's go over to the other end of the spectrum and check out an organization that knows everything about getting hurt and receiving all kinds of aid. The Stunt Collective for Science are roaming the Empire, and while doing so, they're frequenting hospitals from the free city of Levski to the beaches of Kassel. Our reporter, Josh Gunyon, has the past couple weeks been observing the group, but we haven't seen him in a while. I hope he's fine. Anyways, take a look.
Ever since the general public got the opportunity to keep their minds backed up and safely tucked away using unknown and totally secure alien tech, life has been so much fun. Over the last couple years, the declining respect for life had meant racers, soldiers, and thrill seekers have, on a regular basis, set new standards in entertainment and raised expectations for fans all over the galaxy. One such organization is For Science, a loosely organized group of rich friends with a love for stunts and a disregard for modesty and general order, which aims to just have fun no matter the cost. Naturally, there have been several complaints from the public towards the organization, which has generated quite a hefty sum of fines over the months they've been active. But it's still nothing for these rich assholes. If we're not counting their fines, their expenses are still greatly exceeding those of a frontline assault gone bad. However, this is great news for all you rich pilots who are bored out of your minds, but still have a hard time moving on from blowing up your ships on a landing pad and leaving cleanup crews discussing the origins of your parents. Why not cure your boredom together with some new friends instead? 4 Science are meeting up about once every week and come up with activities on the spot for the members present. Be it jumping cyclones between flying ships, or just smashing your hoverbike as hard as you can into some huge landing gears and seeing how far your slam-smelling brains can fly after the impact. It's all for fun anyways, and oftentimes quite exciting. For Hubwire Galactic, I'm Josh Gunyon. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm about to fly this Merlin full speed through a Hercules. Woo-hoo-hoo!
That explains why we haven't heard from Josh. Do we know where he had his imprint? Anyways, we're gonna try gathering up our team, so that's all we had time for. I'm Oliver Zark, and you are wiser than yesterday. Be safe. What are you doing? Who put Josh's death in?
I think that's it. That made me laugh. Oh man. Let me make sure. I think the rest of it is just credit. Yep, it's just credit. Alright. So what are people's thoughts about this episode?
So as always, Zark is a treasure for the community. Like that was educational in general for like people who don't really know of the game. It showed off great sort of visuals and all kinds of aspects of things. It was funny for those of us in the community. It was like community event, like really a lot of information for people who are in the community but might not know about this aspect or that aspect, and are like, hey, I want to go check out these guys that do like stupid stunts for funsies. Just top to bottom, fantastic.
Yep, 100%. I mean, did they test your personality?
Yeah, that was a great line.
Oh,
God, that was great.
That was just hilarious. I had to mute at that moment. I'm like, yeah, this is funny. But like you said, Kai, Zark Media is bringing something new to the table for the community and it's all in lore and all in game. And that's the coolest thing about it. You know, it could have easily just said, go to their Discord server or this or that. But, he talks it like it is a in-game type of thing, just like the med runners. They are an in-game medical running team. And Spectrum is a lore newspaper, so he can mention them in Spectrum and this and that. I think it's just kind of I just love the fact that he brings so much to our community in general, with just everything here, humor, the information, like you said, is both for new and seasoned players. It's just great. It's just great. It had me rolling over here.
I would just like to touch base on, like, when he first started, his shows were very short, and they were like almost like shockingly short, and then they'd have another one, and like I know he took a lot of the input and kind of like fed on that, and has really evolved into this really, really professional piece of work that he's putting out here. And I know I forget he was talking to us at the Digital Bar Citizen, or if it was recently. I think he was at the show last weweek.
Yeah.
He was saying how long it took for these shows to be done now. And you could see how much effort and how much what's going into these now. I mean, like, imagine just the script alone is like, oh, let's do this and maybe tweak this a bit and blah blah blah. It's like, this is so well done. Like the part where he's like, I'm not going to go into in with the medical group. I'm just going to stay here at the elevator, and then they kind of show like wall cameras or in-helmet cameras. Like, that was just so cool, so well done to kind of like just bring about the story into like something different. It's just fantastic. He really does some great work.
Cool. Yeah. Some of my thoughts are he mentioned the Grey Cat developers instead of being CIG developers. I like the music in this. The musical choice is always on point. The explosion at the end that really made me laugh. And the humor in this one was great. But he typically had great humor, unless he's doing something really, really serious, like one of his articles when he switched between the networks and everything. But yeah, did anyone notice that bouncing tank? Like who put hydraulic on a tank? Anybody see that?
It's the Space Cholos, brother. Space Cholos.
That's who they did. That's who did it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They ride up. Orale vato, let's ride.
Yeah, you see that, right? The tank has hydraulics on it. It's like bouncing to the music and whatever. All right. So, any final thoughts? Go ahead.
I just want to say I didn't see the video because I was dancing to the music. You know, bringing back the 70s and 80s. But no, it's good. I love Oliver's voice. It's has one of those voices that really smooth and stands out. And wish the best to him and continuing on. But it was great. It was a good video. I enjoyed it. It was fun,
Thank you.
especially the end. Yeah.
Yeah, great video. All right, so let's wrap up this episode of Soul Talk. And before we go, I just want to say that we did have a fundraiser on Sunday. I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the show, but we're doing this until the end of 2022. So if you haven't chipped in yet and really want and feel it like we want to, go ahead and do so. I'm going to put the link in chat real quick. But yes, it's to fundraise for Gamers Outreach Foundation. So we have a goal of 1,500. We're almost over halfway there. So if you have the means to do so, please donate. Thank you. After that, tomorrow is the day. No, wait, 2 days.
Nope.
2 days from now.
Sunday.
2 days.
Saturday.
Yeah, 2 days. Saturday. My bad. Yeah. So I thought was it November 4th?
No, today's the 3rd.
No,
Yeah,
but
so that would
it
be
was
tomorrow.
November 4th at one time, right? Oh, am I crazy?
It was already
It's always been the
5th.
5th? Okay, whatever. So, November 5th, Saturday, Chicago by Citizen. 4 p.m. Local time until 8 p.m. local time. There are two full cider. Go ahead and check them out. I think they have over 100 participants. And this is hosted by Maiden Ariana from Yacht Club. So if you're in the area or going to be in the area, go and check them out. This will be a CIG attended event. So they'll be handing out Banner Cube code. So if you want one, go and participate.
They're gonna have a food truck there. So bring cash. I think it's Mexican or something like that. So it should be really good. So if you're in the area, go get some food and have fun with a lot of people.
Come to Chicago. You're having a good time with us. Come hang out. It's gonna be fun.
Are you going Dark Knight?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
You'll
Dark
get-
Knight's gonna be there. You get to get autographs
You get to
from
meet
Dark Knight.
me. You get to meet Griff. I'll give you an autograph.
If you show up,
oh my god!
if you show up, if
It's
you
worth
show
one
up,
penny.
if you show up and say that you're a Soul Citizen member, DK will give you a back rub. That's a guarantee.
Boo!
Don't put that out. Don't put that out. Don't do that.
A Soul Cube. What a Soul
The
Cube.
views and
right
opinion of
there.
Kaizen are not representative of Soul Citizens.
Dark Knight will give you tips on flight sim and what you're doing wrong and everything like that.
So moving on, every Saturday we have our Podsat Saturday. We kick off with Soul Voices at 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC. Then we continue on with Captain Table from Octopus at 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 10 p.m. UTC. Then we end that evening with Relay Station from Relay SC at 9 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UTC. So check us out for Podsat Saturday. A podcast Saturday. And our next show on Sunday, I don't even know what's going on in
I just want Dark Knight to read Ryu's comment there.
I did.
I'm like dying.
I'm gonna ignore for now and just try to get through there. On Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, midnight UTC, we're having our next show talking about partner development. That is the last presentation from this year's CitizenCon. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern, midnight UTC, Sunday, November 6th. So check us out with that. It should be fun. Again, you have the charity, already did that. Oh, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Adam Kusanagi, Choo, Dark Knight 75, Face to Face, Kaizen, Poppin' Face, and Zion. Thank you all for hanging out. Appreciate it. If you want to become a Soul Solstice or Soulmate, click the link below on YouTube, the join button. To help us support it, or you can subscribe on twitch.tv/soulcitizen to help us out there. Membership has the privilege. We're available on social.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, I just posted the broadcast from last week's show, the day that Earth stood still. So that, if everyone doesn't know who just got here a little later, that was when the whole Star Citizen community, a lot of people you know from outside of just Soul Citizens, like Verity and other members, we all put in a great show there. It's it's literally the radio show from the original. So that's the link to it if you want to listen to that. And go ahead, fastcart.
Yes, and I just want to say that they're going to stream The Boy Citizen from Chicago live this Saturday. So yeah, it should be a fun, interesting event at the Chicago Boy Citizen. Where was I? Oh yeah, so be sure to hit like, subscribe, or follow depending on what platform you're on. One moment, checking something real quick. Yes, I already said. Oh, so voices will be streamed. Okay. For Captain Richard. Sorry about that. So voices will have Captain Richard on Saturday. My bad. Well, thank you for that. So yes, I think that's everything. So with that, I'm gonna say who are we waiting? Oh, we're waiting Captain Richards. Or I think that
might be Captain Richards. Yeah, we're gonna rate Captain Richards.
Okay, good. All right, so send him our appreciation, and with that, I just want to say thank everybody again. Peace, love, and soul. Take care, everybody.
Can I say one thing? Stay tuned next week for Cup Wars: Return of the Origin Cup.
There you go.
Pop that one stuff flat a little bit.
Nope. That promo worked. I'm tuning in next week just for that.
I don't know why I let you guys do this. The raid has gone through. I'm cutting in this.